Hello, children. This is Manish Yadav, your English teacher, and today I have brought a new video session in which we are going to know about the summary. It is a revision for this chapter. The name of the chapter is The Beggar for class 9th. This chapter has been taken from the book of Moment. And in this video, we have to know about the summary and what happens in this chapter. Let you know. The Beggar. This chapter was written by Anton Chekhov, which is the story of a poor alcoholic beggar named Laskov, who used to beg on roads as he was unable to find work. He resorted to begging in order to survive himself. One day, he met Saroji, a wealthy advocate, and asked him for some work. He was wearing a ragged, tanned, tattered overcoat and had dull, drunken eyes with a red spot on either cheek. He claimed that he was a school teacher in a village earlier and lost his job due to a conspiracy against him. So he started begging to feed himself and survive. Anton Chekhov, he is the narrator of this chapter. He narrates in this chapter about a poor alcoholic beggar whose name is Laskov, and he was begging on the roads as he was not able to find any work for his livelihood. He resorted to begging for surviving himself. What happened? One day he met a Sarazi. Okay? Not a Sarazi. Sarazi is the name of an advocate. He was a very wealthy advocate. And Beggar asked him for some work. Beggar was wearing a ragged and tanned, tattered overcoat and had dull, drunken eyes. And Beggar's eyes was drunken, and there was a red spot on his cheek. He claimed, Beggar claimed that he was a school teacher previously, and he was working in a village earlier, and he lost his job due to a conspiracy. It is a kind of cheating against him. So he started begging to feed, to manage his livelihood for surviving. What happened next? Saroj immediately recalled that he had seen the beggar on another street the other day. At that time, he had said that he was a student who had been expelled. The liar was filled with disgust and threatened to hand over the beggar to the police for cheating people by telling lies. Hearing this, Laskov broke down and admitted that he was lying to people so that they would take pity of him for his condition. He confessed that he used to sing in a uh, Russian choir and was fired for his drinking habit. Hence, he requested Sarasi to give him some work so that he would make a living for himself. Sarasi, he eventually recalled, he memorized that I had, seen this beggar on another street. It was second meeting with that beggar of Sarasi. When he made first time to the beggar, he said that he was a student who had been expelled, uh, stuck, stuck out, suspended, or made out from the school. The lad was filled with disgust and threatened. He threatened the beggar to hand over him to the police station for cheating people by telling lies. Hearing that threatening, Laskov broke down and told the reality that he was lying to the people so that they would take pity of him. They would take interest in the beggar. Laskov, he confessed by saying that he used to sing in a Russian choir and was fired for his drinking habit. He was working as a singer in Russia and he was suspended from there due to his drinking habits. Hence, he requested Sarasi to give him a work so that he would be able to manage his living. Sarasi asked him if he could cope wood for him at his house. Laskov instantly agreed, and Sarasi hastened and called out his cook, Olga, to take the poor man into the woodshed and let him chop wood. Here, another character. Um, Till now, we have known about two characters in this chapter. First, that is the beggar. He is the main character of this chapter. His name is Laskov. And second character is an advocate whose name is Sarasi. And this is third character, Olga. She is a lady and she is cook of Sarasi. She works at Sarasi's home for cooking foods and managing things. Sarasi called his cook Olga and told her to take the beggar for copying the wood. Olga did so as she looked at Laskov with contempt, although he had become very weak due to his drunkenness. She was very polite and kind-hearted lady, as it has been described in this chapter about her character and attitude. She saw the condition of Laskov. He was looking very weak due to his drunkenness. He tried copying wood as instructed. When Sarah looked at him, he felt sorry and ashamed for himself for making the sick man to manual labor in such a cold weather. And Sarasi was a wealthy person. He always has a good heart. When he looked at that beggar, he felt ashamed and sorry to himself for making a sick man to do labor hardly in such a cold weather. An hour later, Olga informed that the wood had all been cooked. Sarasi ordered her to give Laskov of a ruble for that work. Eventually, he would come once in a month to do the work and leave after receiving his wage. And Sarasi ordered Olga to give him half of ruble. Ruble is the currency of Russia. And he used to come in a month, once only, and work, thereafter leave after receiving his wage. One day, soon Sarasi moved to a new house and employed Laskov, who was now a sober, and caught his fellow for packing and hauling the furniture. Although he used to shiver in the cold, he did his work properly. Seeing his dedication, Sarzi offered him a cleaner employment and asked him if he would write. Laskov replied in an affirmative, and Sarzi gave a letter to be sent to his friend where he would need to some copy work. Laskov did so, but he never returned to Sarzi's place. Laskov. He went from there to Sarzi's friend's house and he had to do their copy work. He could write a letter as well. 2 years passed, and one evening, Sergei saw Laskov at the ticket counter of a theater paying for his seat. He was well groomed and looked sophisticated. Sophisticated means wit, intellectual, very clever person, intelligent. Sergei was astonished seeing his transformation and asked about him. Laskov replied that he was working as a notary and was paid 35 rubles every month. Sergei was happy that he could help Laskov become a responsible human being and felt good for showing him the right path. Sergei, the advocate, was very happy because of his struggle and his politeness. Due to that, person got a good transformation in his personality and he could change himself. Laskov thanked Sergei for his kindness and helping him when he was a mere beggar. Besides, he mentioned that he was more grateful to Olga for her compassionate nature. He revealed that she was uh, the one who used to chop the wood that was assigned to him. Being a kind hearted lady, she would give away the money for him for the wood chopping task done by her. And he later tells to Sarzi that Olga was kind hearted and she was very good, fantastic lady. She used to work for me as she used to chop the wood, and I would get money for that. Next, that is the last paragraph for the summary of this chapter. Although she would often chide him when she would also weep at his poor condition, she was very, very polite and kind hearted lady. She often cried, seeing the condition of poor people. She had advised him to give up his alcoholism and was responsible for helping him to mend his ways. And she also requested that beggar to leave his drunken habits and alcoholism, in which a person becomes alcoholic by drinking plenty, more than need alcohol. Owing to her kind words and noble deeds, Laskov had a change of heart. He stopped drinking completely and started working hard to earn his livelihood. She set a right example before him, and he said that he would always remain indebted to her for her kindness and cooperation. He was there as notary and he was paying. No, the beggar was paying for a ticket at cinema hall. He has changed his personality by doing hard work and struggle in his life because of two people. First, he was advocate Sarzi, who took the beggar to his home for coping the woods, and for first time he told Olga to give him half of ruble, Russian currency. Thereafter he sent the beggar to his friend for copy work. Meanwhile, he was working as good furniture as to manage furniture. Thereafter, by doing hard work and struggles in his life, he changed his personality, outer look, and with the help of compassion, which was shown by that lady, you know, Sarzi's cook. Olga requested him to leave alcoholism and be responsible a person to mend his ways. And so that he did so, and he could change his personality with the help of instructions. And finally, he thanked to Sarzi for giving him a chance to be a great and good person in his life. He was determined to do work. Okay, so the conclusion of this chapter is if a person decides to change his life and he wants to do something and he was determined or he is determined, so nobody can stop him and he would be definitely a successful person in his life. So we should never give up. We should always try and try to find a solution out for our problems. If we are doing so, definitely we would find a way when we would be mending our ways to improve our situation as well as for managing our livelihood. So, dear students, the summary has been finished, and it was a story about a beggar. This is a very good chapter in which we can uh, have a great inspiration about the struggle and our determination. That's it. Have a nice day.